So, welcome to the Pirates of Drinax. We'll be picking up where we left off. Last week, these guys are playing their Navy characters. They are in the process of doing an interdiction of Tktk, with a few caveats and addendums, as the case may be. For instance, Devin is playing the character Darren, and Darren has accepted, after the death of Lieutenant Commander Broda, the Imperial Intelligence, or Naval Intelligence Officer, the Intellect Software asked the next ranking member that was surviving if they wanted the job, and he accepted, and then turned around and roped in his crew, which they may not be exactly happy about, because if you don't follow the mandates of the order, you could be, court-martialed, drummed out with a dishonorable discharge, thrown into prison. I mean, yeah.
Or simply shot in the head.
But yeah, or simply, that as the case may be with intelligence, that of course is the ultimate termination of your job duties. The perk of that, of course, is that they are now, at least for the purposes of this deployment, they have Class 5 security clearance. So they get access to all of these top secret classified Imperial documents and information that even the commanding officer, the Commodore of this mission, is not privy to. And part of that, part of Darren's mission, in addition to this interdiction of Tktk, and assisting the Joint Scout Service on the world with their research of the Tktk people. Can you call them people? I guess they're people. They're short, weird little lizard people. But in addition to researching them, Darren's job, and now the rest of the crew, is to either find or fabricate evidence that not only are the Tic-Tics linked to the Ancients and are essentially an offshoot of the Chirper societies, but that the Ancients, and that the Tic-Tics have knowledge of an Ancient's weapon that was able to essentially not necessarily blow up or burn out Star. I guess burn out might be a better word or a better term. But it basically just turned off the nuclear reaction in stars. And so the theory is that there's all these worlds that are floating out there in the black with no star around them, just rogue planets, that may actually have caches of Ancients' technology. Now, this may or may not be true. There is they picked up another group of scientists that were basically brought on to back this theory, and they are the fringe of the fringe. They are mostly, not all of them are really even scientists. There's probably a Vargur gym owner that has now taken up Ancients research and is part of the group. He's got really weird hair. Anyways, so that is their mission, and they are currently on Tktk, and they have, where we last left off, they were getting drunk with the scouts. Before we get started, we would like to thank one of the friends of the Greenwater Guildhall. None of these are sponsorships or partnerships of any kind. They're just products that we really like. Tonight we're going to thank AleHorn. AleHorn makes, if you want to drink beer like a sword worlder, you need an AleHorn. They make ale drinking, or horn drinking horns made from ox horn that are absolutely fantastic. My wife got me one a couple of years ago, and I absolutely adore it. It's great for drinking beer. I mean, you can drink other drinks in it too, but it's especially, it feels wrong to drink anything else in it, but it can be done. And they they sometimes have special deals, so you're definitely going to want to check out their website. The craftsmanship on them is absolutely fantastic. I cannot recommend them highly enough. We also have a merch store via Zazzle. We've got T-shirts and buttons and hoodies and maps, and there's another beer stein in there. And if you want to help us out, we would really appreciate it. 100% of the proceeds from that store goes directly back into our channel. Helps pick up the little minor costs such as Roll20 Pro subscription and Incarnate subscription, things of that nature. And like I said, if you want to help us out, go get yourself a T-shirt and a button, and we really appreciate everything you do for us. All right, so you guys kind of wake up the next morning. Everybody roll roll an athletics endurance. No. Everybody roll carouse plus endurance.
So I take a -3. Right? With 4. You got 8.
Nice.
6.
Okay. Gregor's a little hungover. Or, not Gregor, Happy.
Happy's still hungover.
How did Jace do?
Oh, I got a 4. It was
Oh,
bad.
Jace is really hungover.
Yeah. I don't have carouse, so.
Yeah. So, yeah, Jace and Happy are quite hungover, but waking up the following morning, you have duties to perform. Yes. After that, you do have some duties to perform. Now, it is you can do both of them at the same time, essentially splitting the team, or you can pick one to do, and the follow-up will be whatever you didn't choose. So, the first mission, of course, is essentially securing the system, and what that will entail is going out in a pinnace to deploy the satellites that will essentially these satellites go out and they warn incoming ships that the system is interdicted.
Do we have any new no booze pills?
I'm sorry, what?
Do we have any no booze pills?
You know, probably. Yeah, if you want to swing by, let's see, where is my? You are back aboard ship, so you're probably on deck 11 and 12, one or the other. Probably deck 11. If you were to swing by the med bay, and I am not oh, they are on here. They are on.
Well, here's one on 12.
Yes, there is. There is a med bay on deck 12. So, if you were to swing by the med bay, I would think that by, this far into the future, but just for shits and giggles, I'm going to look at medical care and supplies. I know that they have a list of drugs, but drugs and pharmaceuticals. Well, I think an adrenalizer is probably a little bit over the top.
We probably just need fluids and vitamins, frankly.
Yeah, I would say, it would just be, medicinal drugs. I would think that by this point they would probably have some kind of, anti-hangover pill. But yes, there are medicinal drugs that you can swing by and take. So the first mission that needs to be done, of course, is to deploy these satellites. It would require going out in in one of the pinnaces and basically going through the motions of deploying these satellites. The second mission is to assist some of the research teams on the surface, and these researchers are wanting to go out and make contact with an actual Tktk tribe. So, which would you guys prefer to do? Or, like I said, you could split up. I mean, Happy's the pilot; he could go out in the pinnace and start deploying satellites and deal with that, while whoever goes down to however you want to do it.
Yeah, I don't have any piloting skills, so I'm not going to be much help with deploying to this.
Well, I mean, there's other stuff to do. I mean, you've got to ready if you've got any electronic sensors or computers. Remote ops is a good one, if anybody's got remote ops.
I got electronics at 0.
So that means you have all of them at 0, so that automatically makes you an asset.
Oh, okay. Let's deploy the pinnace first then, so that nobody messes with the second one of the thing we're trying to do.
Yeah, it seems like we should do that first.
Okay. So.
Oh yeah, you're in charge technically. I'm not used to that.
So yeah, it is kind of important to do that first. The interdiction.
Okay, I roll 11 on my pilot.
Oh, nice. Right, yeah. Well, I was going to ask for that. Yes.
I figured you were.
Right. Yes. There.
Oh, damn.
There's your pinnace. So this does have a fixed mount. It says weapons is empty. It is not. This is a military pinnace, and it has a I believe I said a pulse laser in the fixed mount. So the interdiction cruiser is slated to be here this week. So yeah, this was a wise choice. And so Happy, you guys board the pinnace, and Happy is launches you out towards the first deployment site. So
I just set us up in an orbit, and then we're going to chuck them out as we go around the
just
orbit.
throw them out the back. Yeah.
A Marine can do that. They can chuck satellites out.
Right?
Put that battle dress on and just pick it up and they can't weigh more than 300 kilograms.
All right, so Happy sets you on course and gets you to the suitable site. The first site doesn't take very long, but all of these, I mean, it takes you a little bit because you got to go out, to the 100 diameter jump limit. So it probably takes you at thrust 5, a good 3 or 4 hours to get out there. And he brings you to the initial site, and everybody can make a recon plus intellect check.
People aren't going to be happy with us when we set up an interdiction. Recon.
Man, I'm doing bad.
Another one of these.
Right.
I don't know why I bother rolling.
So Darren, you notice a blip on the sensors that indicates that there is there's a radiation surge that usually indicates an incoming jump.
We should radio them and tell them that,
Fuck off.
yeah, they need to leave.
Okay. Let's see here. They will be.
Jump on our computer.
Look at my thingy here. There's my.
What's that?
So yeah, this incoming jump is fairly close. Like this ship comes out at 7,000 kilometers away.
Woo.
Wow.
That's pretty close range. And they, so you're immediately radioing them before you scan them, or
No, I think we should scan it first.
who wants
See who they are.
who wants to make an electronics plus electronics sensors plus intellect or education check?
I got +1 to that. Does anybody do better?
I got +2.
Oh, go for it. Oh, dang.
Yay! I can pick out the nose hairs.
No shit.
So
So you're sitting there.
"Hey, man, want to know why rivets are missing?"
So out of this flash, you pick up that it is a Type A Beowulf class free trader.
Oh, my favorite. They make good lunch.
That might be somebody we know.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
can we tell which? Is there like a transponder signal or anything?
There is actually. And let me see. Not bad. Oh, I did them. Okay. They. Find one that you haven't taken over or killed. So this ship is pinging. Its transponder is on. It is the transponder is set to passive, which isn't unusual. But you ping it and it comes back as the Carnice.
Radio the Chinese and let them know that we are interdicting this area, and the Imperium is going to request that they immediately get out of here, I guess.
Okay. The Carnice's captain comes back. Who is their Carnice captain?
Who do you think you are?
The captain. So you with your sensor scan, the ping brings up a little bit of information that the Carnice appears to be. One of the first things that comes up is that the Carnice appears to be 4 months past due on its mortgage payment, and the current captain is Captain Honest Namura Rachel, and she replies back that she says, "Oh, I wasn't aware that Tktk was being interdicted. We only have, as a free trader, Beowulf class, we only have jump 1. I apologize. Is there any way that it would be possible to land at the port on Tktk to refuel, and then we promise to immediately vacate?"
Is there another way for them to get fuel in the system? I don't remember.
So they could. Let's see. On my thing, where is the Tktk? So here is the Tktk system. There's a couple of large gas giants that they could do wilderness refueling from. You guys know from experience that I mean, wilderness refueling is, you know, it can be dangerous.
Yeah.
So according to the records that you pull up on Carnice, Nomura Rochelle is rated as a competent spacer. I mean, you know, it is a far trader though, or free trader. It's a free trader. It's an A1 free trader. Right? Nope, just an A.
Do you want to make her do the wilderness refueling or let her do the report?
So if we, well, I guess I talked to my crew. Do you guys have any suggestions on whether we let them through or not? Anybody have an opinion?
Did we pick up anything about their cargo?
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
haven't asked. I mean,
You could inspect the ship or something.
yeah, I mean, you if you
You do
wanted to,
whatever
you
you
could
want.
say, "Hey, we want to board you and inspect your ship first." I mean,
That's a really good idea.
you're the
I
ones
like
that are out here.
Yeah, we should do that because if we're going to send them to the surface, we need to make sure that it's not going to cause a problem for us. So yeah, we should definitely check up on their cargo.
Okay. Let's see.
We don't have a cargo spanner.
Not on the pinnace.
No
The
pinnace.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so on the
yeah,
pinnace.
the pinnace. If I remember, it's. I mean,
Pretty basic.
it has radar and lidar, and that's about it.
Mm,
So, she of course comes back and says, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Lieutenant. Is that really necessary?"
there's a wilderness refueling.
Well, if you want to land on the surface, then we need to inspect your cargo.
She says, "All right, all right." She says, "I'll make ready to dock." So Happy, go ahead and make another piloting plus dex check, and this is just a routine check. She's not fighting it. Damn, you make that look easy.
Do we have anybody with us, like Marines of other?
Probably
we are
not. I
Marines,
mean,
okay.
You guys are Marines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
I just meant like any other Marines. I wanted to ask.
I
that's
mean,
all.
maybe. Let's see.
You're trying to undermine the confidence of the crew? Ah,
Just curious. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to bring some additional Marines, you could. You could bring another, what, 4 Marines with you.
I'd say we'd bring 2 more to help with the project of getting these
Actually,
satellites off.
yeah, you could bring another one. Yeah, you could bring another 4 with you. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. So,
it still looks at all their crap, but it's unimpressive and boring. But
Yeah,
hey,
it might
maybe there's something cool in there.
Yeah.
Stubby, where?
Hey, one of you devil dogs, get me a coffee.
Now, let me guess. I have a whole bunch of older stuff on here, but There it is. Okay. I just find it again. I'm gonna have to go through this and clean it up. Is what I'm gonna.
So I'm thinking when we board, we'll leave Happy and two of the Marines that are with us, and Jason and I and the other two will go check out the cargo.
All right.
Go get them.
So you're gonna leave Happy and 2 Marines aboard, and then it's just gonna be you and Jace.
And the other two.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. I can follow orders.
Boy, they got a lot of low stasis pods.
I know, right? That's a lot of fucking low birds for. I mean, whatever, you know. So you guys, Happy docks with this with the Kearneys, and you are met in the right out of the airlock, which leads into a common area, by Captain Rochelle, and she has 2 crew members. One of them looks like, one is wearing Spacer's, standard jumpsuit, overalls kind of situation, and he has a tool belt on. And this suit he's wearing has a number of grease stains, and it looks like this guy probably functions as the ship's engineer. But the only crew you see are the 3 of them, so all of them probably are taking up multiple positions. In addition to the crew, so the 3rd crew member is a young guy that is fairly well dressed, and he is wearing a very clean, pressed flight suit, a jumpsuit that has the ship's name embroidered on the sleeve and on the back, and his name is embroidered over his left breast pocket. And Captain Rochelle introduces her. She says, "This is our first officer, and he's also our ship's mechanic and a number of other functions aboard the ship." And then she points to the guy in the pressed suit, and she says, "This is our ship's steward." And you see that sitting around the common table, there are 6 people, and they're not wearing any kind of spacer uniform. They're dressed, however, one's wearing just jeans and a t-shirt. Another one's wearing a suit, and there's a couple of women. She says, "We are our primary, our secondary cargo in this situation." And she turns and she looks at the table. She says, "No offense, folks." She says, "But our secondary cargo are passengers. We have 2 mid passengers and 2 low passengers. Or I'm sorry, 2. I apologize. Again, the 4 of these people look like they just woke up, and they were 4 low passage. They just as they were emerging from jump, they were taken out of stasis from the pods.
So, so the question, I guess, is their destination here?
Yeah, she hands you a chart with all of their paperwork, and they are listed as the first thing that they're listed as that you notice is that they are registered out of Thebes. So the Carnice is registered out of Thebes. Their destination is Janus.
Okay. So if they can fuel up, they'll just keep going. Probably.
So, are any of the passengers destined for Tktk?
No,
No. Okay. Cool.
but she tells you. She said these four guys. She says, I usually we don't wake them up until we reach the destination. But if you were going to search our ship, and if we were going to have to possibly do, if there's something that if you find that you don't like or whatever, since you were inspecting our ship, I wanted all of the passengers here so that you could meet each and every one of them.
Jace, will you check out the passengers, and I'll leave one of the Marines with you, and I will go with the other Marine, and we'll go check out the cargo.
Okay.
All right, line up, folks. It's time to get frisked.
Time for your anal probes. Sorry, I know you just woke up, but as she snaps on a rubber glove. So yeah,
Yeah, we need a DNA sample
yeah,
from your
cup.
lungs.
Here's a cup. Go to the fresher. God, that's like the doctor on Friday Night's Game. So so the two middle passengers, it's a man and his wife. They're dressed fairly well, and they were they hand you the. I don't know. They must have like some kind of passport or something, but essentially it's their credentials. And the husband explains that he and his wife were on vacation on Thebes, and now they are traveling to Janus to essentially to handle some business dealings that they have. Set some things right, and the wife explains that her father just recently died, and so they're having to settle the affairs and sell their corporate stakes on Janus before returning home. And their home is actually in the Tobiah subsector.
Oh my God.
They're
I
on a
detect
long
any
trip.
weapons when I frisk them.
Are you gonna frisk them?
I'm frisking everybody, I thought.
Go ahead and make an investigate plus intellect check.
I'm not gonna find shit. I don't think I even have that. Let me see. No investigate. All right.
I don't know.
Well, you wouldn't be the first. You wouldn't be the first cop to miss a knife or something.
Fucking 2? All right. Let's just roll like garbage tonight. That's what we're doing.
Wow, a 2. Okay. Was that snake eyes or?
I rolled 4 and I got a -2 because I have a +1 intellect and no investigate skill at all.
Okay, so yeah, no, you frisk them, and you don't find anything. You frisk both
Alright.
the husband and the wife. The four that are in that were in stasis, that were in the low birds. They're
in space pajamas.
Yeah, they're in space pajamas. Yes, they are. They're all wearing, essentially they're the standard scrubs that you would wear in low berth. Then they're all wearing ship shoes, and ship shoes are essentially slippers. They're soft-soled shoes, or soft-soled. They're a cross between like house shoes and socks. and so they're the first guy yawns, and he tells you that he was based out, or that he caught the ship in Thebes, but he's actually he actually took another ship from Marduk to Thebes, and then paid for passage aboard the Carnice, and he is heading to Janus. He's hoping to find work He doesn't know if he'll find any, but things on Marduk. He got tired of working in fish and fish-related industries, and so he decided to head for Janus. He said that he's heard that there's a number of opportunities. He knows that Caldos is hiring. There's mercenaries being hired out of Caldos. There's some possibilities in Janus, and if that falls through, he says he'll catch another ride and head for Depress and enlist.
I rolled a 3 this time when I first this guy.
Yeah,
Must
no,
be my
I
game.
mean, on this guy, I mean, if you got, I mean, you only failed by 1. I mean, he's wearing, the standard pajamas, so it would be really hard to miss something. He's not packing anything.
Okay, cool.
The second guy, he is actually he's heading home to Tyr. And he too was on Thebes, but he was on Thebes for business, and evidently his business at the conclusion of his business, he was robbed while out on a safari on his last day, and he lost everything, and so he had to scrape together whatever he could in order to pay for low passage back to Tyr.
And say, well, at least you still have your dignity. And then I frisk him.
Barely. I mean,
There you go. Got 5.
yeah. So he does not have anything. Well, you don't find a weapon, but you do find that taped to the inside of his leg is 100 credits.
Okay, whatever.
hard
You can
currency.
keep that. You can keep that. That's very sad.
What can you get for 100 credits and you're 15,600?
Nothing. Probably like half a sandwich.
Right? Yes.
Piece of gum.
And when you find it, he looks at you and he kind of blushes and looks at the floor and he goes, "That's my last 100 credit. I figured I'd be able to get something to eat and maybe a hotel room when I get home."
Good luck, man.
The third woman, she looks terrible. She has signs of either current or last illness. She occasionally has a racking cough, and she tells you that when you look at her credentials, it says that her homeworld was Thebes. Make a electronics computers plus intellect or education check.
Come on. 9. I finally rolled well.
What'd you get?
9.
Nice. So yeah, you look at these credentials and they look like complete fabrication. Like the whole thing smells like bullshit. And you're looking at the credentials and you're looking at her and you're looking at the credentials. And the first thing that you notice right off the bat is that her picture in the credentials looks much better than she looks now. And when I say that, it looks like, I don't mean like she looks, hideous or sick. She looks like most of her life she has had some form of acne or pox. She has the scars all over her face, all over her neck. Looks like it probably was either bacterial or viral, but it could have possibly been radiation for all you know. Do you have medic?
Yeah, medic at 0.
Go ahead and make a medic plus intellect or education check.
7.
So, just giving her the once over, you're guessing that this is, of course, more than just acne. It looks like she probably has suffered in a fairly diseased environment, and she hey, look at that. She notices the look on your face as you're looking over this form or on your pad over her credentials and kind of looking at her, and she says, "I'll come clean. I'm not really from Thebes."
Okay, where are you from?
She says, "My home planet is Noricum, and I made my way to the small port that was there, and there was a trader that I traded some artifacts with to get me off world. My family, my father came of age and was sent to the line. So on Noricum, when you get to be a certain age, they send you out to rebuild the fire line, essentially, that keeps back the mutated viruses and bacteria that afflicts the world." And she says, "With my father dead, he was the only family I had left, and I told myself I just wasn't going to live here anymore. So I sold some Sandalian artifacts that I had pillaged from a ruin site, and paid for my way off. And I switched ships at Thebes, and that's how I got on the Carnies."
Well, I think she's telling the truth. It's okay. I'm going to decline to frisk her though because she looks diseased.
I don't want to get any of that on my hands.
Yeah, really. Good luck with that. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Okay, I've inspected everyone.
So there is one guy left.
Oh wait,
The
there's one more.
last guy, make another, excuse me, make another investigate plus intellect or education. Or actually, I guess investigate plus intellect.
7. Hey.
So this guy, your first guy, he's not armed in any way, and he has nothing hidden on him. But you do feel that along his back and chest and ribs, there are a number of scars. Some don't appear to be that old, and when you look at his information, it says that his home planet was Ogma.
Oh, okay. They probably chewed on them a bunch. Are those steak knife scars?
Yes. So yeah, no, he tells you that he was one of the lucky ones, that he wasn't he was not he was not considered food, and because he could read,
Oh,
and
cool.
so he was the one of the unfortunate. He says, maybe being thrown onto the fire with one of those clans would have been better than what he endured, because he had to essentially fix everything, and he says he basically didn't know most of what he was doing, but he knew how to read, and so he spent a lot of time looking at tech manuals trying to get things fixed, and if he didn't do it fast enough, of course, he was beat.
Mm.
But the clan that he was a part of was taken over by a new clan, and he was released.
Well, that's pretty lucky. Good for him.
So, Darren, you get into the cargo hold. You can make an investigate plus intellect check.
Eight.
Okay, so it does. So I don't know if this is of concern to you or not. But say this. Not. It doesn't. So you find that the cargo hold is loaded They are carrying 42 tons of petrochemicals. And they are in containers that are all clearly marked, don't smoke around them. But they are all petrochemicals, essentially oil and gas.
Wow.
There is another 29 tons of just standard freight, and it says... So industrial chemical tanks, which hold liquid polymers used in manufacturing industry, and the tanks are robust enough that they might be able to take a couple of shots from a Gauss rifle before popping.
Mm-hmm.
Typical freight, freight for a fee containers, assortment of items. Nothing looks out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I'd like to see the cargo manifest and see if there's what the destination is. Is it really Janus, or is there something else that they're saying that says?
Yeah, go ahead and make a electronics, computers plus intellect or education.
Fine.
So, from what you see, it shows that all of these items are bound for Janus, and are to be sold. The petrochemicals are clearly stated to be sold to Trojan Hardware Corporation, and the typical freight seems to be they're selling it to the highest bidder. It's speculative trade.
Right. Well, it all seems to be in order. So I suppose I will let them land on the surface and get out of here.
Okay. All right. So you guys meet back up, and I don't know, Jace. Are you going to report anything to the lieutenant, or just let these poor bastards go?
I'll just let them go. They're fine. They're not causing any trouble.
All right. So the captain, as Darren comes back up, Captain Rachel. So everything appeared to be in order, Lieutenant?
That's correct. Yes, I'm going to allow you to land on the surface and
Then fuck off.
yeah, refill your fuel tanks, and then you should leave immediately.
Can do. Affirmative. We will make for the low port immediately, and then after we're refueled, we will depart.
Excellent.
All right. So you guys load your way back onto the pinnace, and Happy, go ahead and make another piloting plus dex check. Piloting small craft plus dex check. Perfect. So you undock, and Carnice, true to their word, sets course for Tktk. They, of course, will be there. It will take quite a while. It's going to take them a good 8 or 9 hours at thrust 1. Who wants to attempt to launch the first satellite?
I got electronics. What is it?
So it'd be so it's kind of a task chain. So the first roll would be electronics, computers, plus intellect or education to program it and activate it. The second check would be from somebody else to do electronics, remote ops, plus intellect, or I'm sorry, plus dex, or yes, plus dex, in order
I've got 2 on the sensors and stuff.
to launch it.
I can program it too.
I got a plus 1 on the yes, I'm done.
I don't. So I guess Happy can program it, and Jace can send it off.
Cool.
Okay, Happy. Go go ahead and make a electronics computers plus int or edu.
That's a 10.
Okay. So that is an average success. So whoever's going to do remote ops plus dex gets a +1 to their check.
6.
Okay, no, that's perfect. So
That's okay.
you push it out of the cargo hold, and it is off. Setting its as soon as you get it out, you use the remotes to get it into position, and it's kind of in a stationary position. And the computer itself will then correct it to keep it in that spot. You can then move on to the next site. Happy, go ahead and make another piloting plus dex check.
Oh, I'm eating more coffee. 9.
Okay.
Next, I'm going to roll a 3, and we're going to crash into the planet.
Interesting. Everybody makes a recon plus. Oh, who's operating sensors? Well, Happy's piloting. Who's looking at sensors?
I guess I'm operating sensors because everybody else is busy.
Okay, go ahead and make a electronic sensors plus intellect or education check.
9.
Nice. So you detect another incoming jump radiation surge. This time, I have to. Well, oh wait, no, I don't. I'm looking in the wrong place. I know that there's another. Check. This one, coming out of jump, is a slightly larger ship, much older. This is a Balin Frontier transport. They come in at 300 tons. Actually, I thought...
Can I shoot at it?
They look like that. Old boat. They're often known as the Tough Trader.
Mm.
I guess I'll give them a ring. Actually, let's scan them first and then give them a ring.
Okay. Go ahead and make a electronic sensors plus int or education.
8.
Perfect. So you pick this one up. It is armed, has a dual turret, pulse lasers, dual turret, beam lasers, and sandcaster, and it is coming in a little further away, 12,000 kilometers, and they immediately, as soon as they detect you, they calm you. They open a hailing frequency to your ship.
You want to answer?
Yeah, I'll answer. Hello.
Captain speaking.
Captain speaking. Yeah, that's right.
Captain Tough Trader.
So,
So
he says, I'm Captain Hardiker of the transport Shark's Teeth. We're just passing through. We were going to do wilderness refueling.
we're presently interdicting this system, so you're free to fuel at one of the gas giants that's further out from the system.
He says, affirmative, affirmative. We are going to head to the nearest gas giant, refuel, do our skimming, and then head on out.
Good luck. Do let us know if you need any assistance.
Affirmative, affirmative. Thank you. It's good to see the Imperials out here.
Well, thank you. What brings you to the system?
Oh, we're just passing through, inbound for Caldos.
Calvin. Well, good luck.
Thank you, sir. And he
Fair seas and calm weather.
Yes, yes. All right. Again, who's going to program the satellite? Make a electronics, computers plus intellect or education. Okay. No bonuses. So Jace, it is just a remote ops plus dex check.
7.
Nice, nice. So once again, you guys program this thing, and Jace pilots it out. And you only had to launch 2 of these satellites. There's other pinnaces, there's other ships that are out dropping satellites at various locations. This was your designated location. And you have succeeded in your mission. You can head back to... if you want, you can either head back directly to the Bright Light, or you can land at the downport on Tktk to meet up with the researchers.
Might as well go straight to the researchers.
Okay. Happy, make another piloting plus dex check.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Crash into the planet and die.
I hope you're all wearing your seatbelts. Okay. So, Happy's coming into Tktk, and he comes in a little too steep, and, alarm klaxons start going off, and the ship... Find it.
Is totaled. Your insurance company won't pay for it.
It's so
And
over.
we have to get another Pinnacle come down and pick us up.
Don't worry, you've got Imperial insurance.
And we have to have the med bay
Mission.
They have
clone
a
some
little
teeth for us. We
Imperial
have to have the
insurance.
med bay clone teeth for us because we knocked them all out.
We'll have both of our ranks for this.
Luckily,
Yeah,
I had nothing to do with any of it.
Imperial insurance. Their motto is like a good emperor.
Like an emperor, we are there.
Right. Where are? Oh,
How
no.
much shall we tax you?
So yeah, the he hits that atmosphere like he's almost bounces off. You get to make a second piloting plus dex check to make sure you don't just ricochet off the planet.
Oh, good.
No, he keeps it steady. So the hull of the pinnace, now keep in mind the pinnace only has 16 hull points, does take 4 points of damage coming in. And you get a immediate radio from downport control, wanting to know if you're okay and if there needs to be a repair crew or rescue crew prepared for your arrival.
Is anyone injured?
That was a pretty hard hit. I think everybody should make a an athletics dex check.
I don't have athletics decks.
Then it would just be a raw dex check. It's a routine check.
8.
I have athletic strength.
So yeah, it would just be 2d plus your dex modifier.
Which is 1.
Oh yeah, you're fine. How did
I got 6.
you got a 6? Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, you were all held on, and didn't smack your face into the console in front of you. So yeah, you're not. There's no injuries.
Well, one of the Marines fell down and broke his arm.
Oh, that's true. I should probably roll for them, huh? No, he's fine. Yeah, one of them has a broken nose. He went forward and smacked his face right into the seat in front of him, and he's got a busted up nose. But aside from that, he'll be okay.
Well, it was already broken anyway.
Probably.
It just probably put it back to where it's supposed to be.
So did you guys see that graphic I gave you about how to get into battle dress?
No.
I looked at it. I don't think I shared it with Devin.
So it is. So getting into battle dress is a fairly complicated affair. Like there's a Waldo. First, you have to put on the sensor mesh and thermal protection suit. Then you have to get into or hang on to a kind of a Waldo rig kind of thing that suits you in. And usually there's a second person that is putting it on. I would think that they're at a TL-15 battle dresser would probably be some kind of mechanics that are putting it on for you. But yeah, you're probably not going to wear battle dress sitting in a pilot seat. I mean, you're basically a walking tank at that point. But so yes, Starport Control wants to know if you need repair and rescue assistance on arrival.
We are going to be in need of a little bit of repairs, and a medic would be helpful.
Okay, they will have that ready for you, and Happy is able to bring you down into this Class D starport, and when you land, I mean, basically it's just they use plasma torches to flatten sections of the area for a ship to land. You set down, and they have they've got a TL-5 fire truck out there, but you're not on fire. And there's some kind of pickup with tool racks in the back, and then there's also a ambulance, and that shows up, and the medic they meet you, and the medic starts looking over the Marine. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna be fine." And oh wait,
Your mother won't even recognize you. You'll have a straight nose.
right? The medic kind of sticks a tampon up his nose and puts some tape over the bridge of his nose, and he's like, "You'll be fine." So the repair crew's looking at me like, "Wow, you really came in at a sharp angle." And they tell you that it's going to take them probably... It could take them as much as 7 days to repair the damage. You might... I mean, we don't have a whole lot of parts down here, and they're kind of looking at Happy, and they're like, you might want to report this to your commanding officer, because they can expedite it and get some parts down here from your ship, and maybe send one of their repair crews with their specialized tools and get this patched up a lot faster than we'll be able to.
Thank you for the advice.
And then they hand Happy they have a portable touchscreen computer tablet that he hands you. And he says, "All I need is your thumbprint on this." Essentially, it is the downport is going to bill the repair costs to your ship.
Do you want to do this, or we want to call the ship?
If we bill them, they're going to find out anyway. So we might as well call the ship.
Okay, so who's calling the ship?
I suppose it's up to me. I'll call the ship.
You're in charge.
Or what would we use?
Just say it's classified. He's like the intelligence officer now.
That's right.
You could use admin plus intellect, or actually, yeah, it would be admin plus intellect or education.
Do you have admin?
I have admin.
No, I do not. So please do.
Yeah, you know.
Good enough.
So you get the one of the bridge comms officer, and they put you through to their engineering flight crew, and the guy says, "Oh, yeah, it happens." And he looks it over. He goes, "Yeah, it looks like you filled everything out properly. We'll get a crew down there. Not to worry." And he says, "Tell the downport that we won't be needing their services."
And I tell the downport guy, "No, thank you. I'm not putting my thumbstick on that thing.
He says, "All right."
I don't want to be here 7 weeks."
He says, "Honestly, it's better that you just report it." He goes, "I guess they'll probably find out about it anyways." He says, "So, enjoy your stay." And so you guys go and you meet up with what is her name? Stevie.
I go to the generic bar that's not here.
You're gonna go to the downport to the downport bar. Well, just outside of the downport bar is where Maria Stevie Steves is prepping her team to go, and she says she tells you, she says they're loading things onto an air raft and loading supplies and some of their equipment. And they've got 2 air rafts, and they're using one is a flatbed, the other one is a standard. And she says, "Well, if you're coming with us, you better get that drink to go." She said, "I recommend buying the whole bottle."
I'll just buy a pony keg.
Okay, yeah.
Nice.
And she kind of laughs.
Charge. I'm looking at you.
When I was back in the software business,
Let's see.
I had a contract where I worked from Washington D.C. I would leave Washington D.C. and go to Columbus, Ohio for a week. And one of the other guys we worked with had his own airplane, and he flew himself there. And we found some beer that we liked so much that he would buy a pony keg and fly it back.
Nice, nice.
One of the microbreweries there was unbelievably good.
Cool.
Right next to Ohio State campus. You wonder why?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
When I was in the software industry, they sent us down to. This is when I worked for Netscape, and I was out here in Beaverton, Oregon. They sent us down to the Netscape campus in Alta Vista, just for what was supposed to be for a 3-day tour of the campus and some minor, schmoozing and training. And those 3 days ended up being 4 or 5 weeks. I think it was, it was 5 weeks. And they had their own basketball court. They had a fucking arcade with all the games set to free play. And then in the arcade, they had nothing but booze. They had kegs and like a little wet bar set up. And, it's the middle of the day, like noon. They're like, "Oh yeah, have a beer." And I'm like, "Dude, Are we working? What what are we doing? We're like, yeah, that's okay. Just don't get shitty. Like, all right, well. I work on
Yeah.
computers. I work on
Get more
computers better when I'm.
creative in your programming.
Yeah, right. Like I said, I work on computers better when I've had a couple of drinks. But yeah. No. So yeah, Stevie jokes. She says, she looks. She goes, a pony keg. What do you think this is? A camping trip? And
Well, to a pilot, maybe.
and she gives you, 100 credits. She says, here, that's for half. I'll cover half if you're gonna get a pony keg.
Wow, she's cool.
So you guys load up and set out, and you are heading out into this is the nearest tribe from the downport. And as you are heading out, hey, remember, I didn't include any of the information. So she tells you that these Tic-Tacs. Where's my Tic-Tac information? So she tells you,
If these Tic-Tacs drink beer, that certainly shows that they're an advanced civilization.
Right? Yes. Next, they'll be building pyramids. So she tells you. She says that the Tic-Tacs, one of the parts of their research that they're trying to figure out is that aside from the fact that their pigmentation is, of course, darker than that of chirpers, and they, showing that they have kind of evolved to live on this planet. She says one of the things that hasn't been answered is that they have the ability to go out into the wasteland, out into these deserts, and somehow they know how to find water. And she's not exactly sure. Nobody knows how it is that they do it. And one of the other researchers, he's one of the fringe of the fringe researchers. He says, "Well, we've always suspected that it may be a some kind of telepathic ability or psionic ability that allows them to know where water is." And she kind of rolls her eyes as she goes, or maybe they use dowsing rods. I mean,
Or they can just smell it.
She looks at Happy and she goes, "That's a more likely that they just have some way of smelling it." But as you're heading out into the desert, I mean, it doesn't take very long, and there's pretty much nothing except for dunes as far as the eye can see.
So which one are we going to?
You are going to this one.
That's what I thought. Since it's close to where we started. Closer.
Yeah.
Maybe I should buy one of these
What,
mines.
600 kilometers or something like that?
So each of these hexes is 718 kilometers.
Now we're looking at 1,500, 2,000, 2,500.
Yeah. And so this is the air raft that you are cruising in.
Ooh. That's nice.
This
We're
is
going to
the
have to
sport
stop
model.
and refuel this thing.
Yeah.
Unless she has some fuel in it. Mm.
We'll have to bring extra fuel with us.
Yeah,
Mm,
one of them probably has extra fuel cells. Probably in the second one that's a flatbed. But so let's see here. It says it has a basic navigation system, and it has a basic sensor. So again, this thing's only got radar, lidar. I mean, it's I think that's what that means.
Yeah, well, we can go into orbit.
begin to listen to some music.
I don't know if I really want to go into orbit in a open top vehicle.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. Yeah. Hold on here. Where are my source clips? What's it say? That's not public. Out of curiosity, I want to see.
There is a cargo carrying version.
Yep, that's the other one.
I should just buy one of these. Where can I buy one of these?
Pretty much any world with that's TL8 or higher. Whoa. Weird. You can get them with an ejection seat. Come on. So basic sensors, it's yeah, they've got a range of 1 kilometer around it with these sensors. It's pretty limited.
It's like really limited.
Yeah. So everybody can make a recon plus intellect check.
7.
Nice.
8.
Perfect.
3.
Oh boy.
Oh.
So
I don't have recon.
so Happy's got like sand and grit in his goggles, and he's not able to see much. He's got the keg tap in his mouth, and he's just kind of and and Jace is kind of trying to assist Happy, with his goggles. But Darren, you look down and you notice that, you look out on the horizon. You are approaching a rocky, not mountains, but there is a grouping of rocks out in the middle of the desert that are jutting up out of the sand dunes, and you can detect on the basic sensors that these are probably half a kilometer in width and length. It's pretty much a square area, and they jut up probably another good half a kilometer from the surface of the sand. And Stevie points towards them, and she says, "That's where we're going," and kind of speeds up a little bit as you guys are ripping towards it. Darren, you can make an electronic sensors plus intellect or education check if you'd like.
Okay. 3.
So you flip on the sensors, and you're like, the sensor's telling me that there's a bunch of rocks in front of us.
Good fucking job.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a lieutenant.
Did I try? Gosh.
Yeah, you can.
That gives me 6. That's not that much better.
So you reach over and you turn the dial down on the resolution, kind of bringing it back out a little bit, and you do pick up some very faint blips in the area, flyers, and Stevie looks over at the radar console or the sensors console, and she says, "Oh yeah, there's." And she's yelling over because this is an open top speeder. I don't know why they made these things open top. That's just dumb. But anyways, she says she is yelling because of the wind and whatnot. She says, "Yeah, those are some flyers. There's a number of flying creatures around here. We'll want to keep our eyes open for those."
What kind of flying creatures?
Well, I'm glad you
Hostile?
asked. They
Venomous ones.
are called.
They spit
They
out
are-
5 molar sulfuric acid.
No, but so they are small flying lizards that they refer to as sting storm or just stormers, and they're not overly dangerous, by themselves, but they tend to try to mob creatures to take them down.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
basically, they just, small bites and whatnot. She says, if you don't like to be nibbled on, you'll probably want to try to keep those away from you. They don't usually get too close to the air rafts. They're a little bit scared of us.
Okay.
So she brings you into, or as you get closer to this outcropping, you do see that there are a number of small caves, and there's a fairly large one on the ground that has an opening that's about 4 meters tall. But there are a number of other smaller ones. Some of them is small. Some of these openings are as small as 1 meter in height, and they go all the way up to the top of these cliffs. And everybody can make another recon plus in.
Dang, I got a 12. Check it out.
I got a 1.
Oh, fuck.
Jesus! Wow.
Yes, six.
Well, I could.
So
Right in between.
I could get a 0.
So Jace, you see as you're approaching, and Stevie's bringing you down closer to the ground, to the point where the air rafts are skimming maybe a meter above the surface of the sand. And Jace, you look ahead and you can see that there is a Tktk that is standing out front, or out in front of this cave that's like 4 meters tall. It's like 4 meters tall and like 2.5 meters in width. And he's standing out front. He has this big. It would be called. I guess you would call it a staff, but I mean it's like 3 times longer and taller than he is. And there's all these leather thongs hanging off of it with little rocks and whatnot. And as soon as he sees you guys approaching, you see him start twisting this, or kind of twisting it back and forth in his hand, and the thongs with the rocks on it start clattering back and forth against each other as you're approaching. And pretty soon, out of the cave, you see that there are 3 others that come up, and they keep their distance back from him, but they're all very aware that you're approaching. And Stevie sets the air raft down probably a good 18 meters from the cave entrance, and she basically tells everybody, she's like, all right, we'll be setting up camp here, and we're aware that this tribe is living in this cave system. And she says, we've made some rudimentary contact, but they're still a little bit skittish of us.
All right. Good to know.
So part of the equipment that is in here Of course, there are a number of tents, survival tents, things of that nature. But everybody can get a set of what are these? Chem View goggles. Basically, these are goggles that you can put on, and they come with a wrist attachment that is a chemical sniffer, so that you can essentially test ground samples, things of that nature. There is a Geiger counter for whoever wants one. There's a set of electronic binoculars, and they are TL10s.
I'll take the binoculars.
Yes, I'll take the guy with function.
I'm using the Chem View goggles to check out my beer.
So these electronic binoculars are, I'm sorry, they're not TL10. They are these are actually TL16. They have an additional function on them that you've never seen before, Darren.
Cool. What is it?
Make an investigate plus intellect check.
Man,
3.
Yeah, you've never seen anything like this, and Stevie says, yeah, you're gonna want to be careful with those. Those are some additional add-on equipment that was given to us by R&D.
Oh, really?
does she
Does she know
explain
anything
it?
about what the function is?
She says, well, that additional function, they claim, will be able to detect psionics.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
They work like
That could be handy.
they work like PRIS binoculars, portable radiation imaging system, but they have an additional setting that switches to a special filter that is a Sci-finder, placing a nimbus of luminescent light around the image of anything with a Psi score.
Well, I will immediately try that on one of the Tic-Tacs.
Okay.
I'm going to immediately try it on people that are in our group.
Here, give me that. I want to look at our own people.
And I'm immediately going to have a beer.
That works.
So the group of Tic-Tics that are watching you from the cave entrance, they do not show any psionic ability, according to the binoculars. You're, of course, assuming that they work. I mean, these are TL16. The Empire is TL15, so these are, extreme prototype technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can always say we saw them.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Glowed. Look, they must be ancients.
That's true. I could just fake it, try to make it look like I'm seeing that, but I think I won't do that.
Like, you can just say so later.
I am supposed to manufacture evidence, but
You gonna wait a little bit?
yeah, I might hold on.
You'd think it would only show it if they're doing something.
Yeah,
right?
that might be it.
They're just sort of standing around.
Yeah.
Well,
being
it's supposed to show up if they even have a Psi score, but maybe these guys just don't have a Psi score. Maybe they're not all psionic, but who knows? These particular ones are not showing up on the binoculars, or possibly the binoculars don't work. The last piece of equipment, there is a bioscanner. And so this bioscanner is basically, it looks like a short pistol, but no barrel. It's just flat on the front. And it can sniff for organic molecules and test chemical samples, analyzing the makeup of whatever it is focused on. It can be used to detect poisons or bacteria, analyze organic matter, search for life signs, and classify unfamiliar organisms. And it's tech level 15.
Well, I took the
Nice.
Geiger counter, so
It's basically like the hand scanner that you had brought up in the other game.
I'll do that.
Okay, so you're going to grab the bioscanner. And so she you know, as the group sets up the camp, Stevie says, so I'm going to go over and attempt to make contact with them and let them know that we're not here to cause them any problems. And she starts to head off towards the cave entrance.
What am I
I'm going to
picking
go
up?
with her.
I'm picking something up.
I'm detecting ticks. They're all around everywhere. Did you
There's
guys
life
want?
signs. Oh yeah, there's life signs.
Or she just says she's going to go make contact. Starts walking off. Is anybody going to follow?
I'm going with her.
Okay.
yeah.
So she heads up. Starts. You know, you follow up behind her. And who all is going with her? Everybody, or
You're in charge. Are we supposed to?
If you're free to come with us, I think.
You're
Yeah.
supposed to be. Tell us what to do.
Okay, come on with us.
Okay, I'll follow orders and go over there.
All right.
okay. So
Fucking Marines.
can't do anything without orders. So you guys head up to this cave entrance, and
I got my scanner set up for water. I don't see anything.
actually make a go ahead and make a electronic sensors plus intellect check. Anybody who, well, you have the bioscanner, so you can go ahead and roll that.
7.
So you are detecting water molecule in the air from inside the cave,
That's good.
and as you
So there's humidity coming from the cave.
probably yes, and by the time that you guys reach this location, you know the sun is starting to set, and I mean it's cooler, and you know as you're approaching, Stevie does tell you before you leave the camp to walk over to these guys. She tells the rest of the researchers. She says, "Get those tents set up quick. The temperature out here drops pretty rapidly at night." And she, you know, you guys head on over, and he's still twisting this staff, and these rocks are clattering around the top. And as soon as she gets probably within about 2 meters of him, he just stops. And the 3 tic-tacs behind him just start to hum. They're like, and the one with the staff kind of takes a step forward and motions with his clawed hands to come closer.
Sure, I'll approach.
And
And I'm in the background, and I unsling my Gauss submachine gun.
So he notices that, and the 3 behind, as you unsling your submachine gun, they all stop humming, and he motions you closer, and he speaks he does speak in broken Anglic, and he introduces himself in a language that you don't quite understand, and he pats himself on the chest, and it comes out in a nearly unpronounceable name, and he reaches into a pocket on his tunic. He's wearing like a leather tunic, and he pulls out a bone fragment, and he hands it to Darren, and written on it, it just says Bob, and
I'll say I'm Darren.
and he kind of bows. Everybody make a recon plus intellect check.
Not that again. Don't know why I bothered.
Another 12.
I got a 7.
Okay, so
You got a 6.
you all notice the three that are behind that were humming, their eyes are all transfixed on Happy, and Bob looks at you and he points and says he says no hurt.
No hurt. I sling my submachine gun back.
You all notice that the three behind him seem like they're much more relaxed now that you've shouldered your rifle. And Bob kind of turns and says, "Come," and invites you all into the cave.
All right, let's go in there.
Yeah,
We're going to be dinner. We're going to go for dinner.
Is my Geiger counter going off at all, or is everything cool?
is this to serve man?
Go ahead and make a electronic sensors plus intellect check.
I know what I need to do. I need to print out a sensors prompt.
I got 12.
Anybody have a STL file for a hand scanner?
No, I do
Oh,
not.
wait.
I wouldn't doubt that one exists, though.
I got 11, not 12.
11? Okay.
Yeah.
So you are picking up some low-level radiation. Your ChemView goggles are picking up that there are traces of uranium in these rocks.
Okay, I'll warn Darren.
The Geiger counter is not registering that it's
Shouldn't
very
be much.
high. Yeah.
Okay, good. That's really
If it's just natural, if it's a natural ore, it's not very concentrated.
It's not until they start fucking with it, like even digging it. If you're mining it, that's a problem. Just leave it the F alone, and you won't get any radiation. But yeah, let's see. You are looking at like 1D rads per day.
Oh, we're cool.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, barely a problem. But yeah, your ChemView goggles are picking up there is uranium in the rock stratus. But as you come in, you note that the inside of this cave, at first when you enter the cave, you see what you would expect with stalagmites and stalagmites underneath. But as you get deeper in, you can start seeing that there are sections of the rock that have been carved and worn smooth, and there are carvings that appear to be in like a almost like a circular pattern, and they're quite beautiful, but they're all over this one wall. But there are areas that are completely smoothed out, benches, areas to sit, and along one wall of this entire cavern, there is a large underground lake.
Ooh, cool.
And you see that there's probably another good 40 of these Tktks that are living in this cave system, and they've got small campfires going and things of that nature. And he welcomes you over to a campfire and tells you all to sit, eat. And they've got like a lot of these roasted, what were they called? The sting storms. They've got them on sticks that they're roasting in the fire.
I could go for some sting storm.
Yeah, I'll eat and encourage the crew to join in.
So yeah, you guys sit and you all have your meal, and as you are sitting and eating, the Ticks start to the one that had the staff Bob starts to um, speak, and he's the cadence of his words, you can't really understand them, but the cadence of his words come out in the cadence of like he's telling a story. And Stevie um, pulls up her wrist, and she hits the button. She says, "Another fancy little piece of technology. We're not sure if it works, but we're going to try it. It's a translator. We've been feeding it Tktk language for the past couple of weeks, and it starts to translate what this Tktk is saying. And essentially, he's telling a story that basically he says many generations ago that they came to this world, and this was to be their new home. The worlds that they were on before were blotted from the sky. And he goes over and as he's telling the story, waves his hand across the engravings on the stone, as if that has something to do with the tale.
So they're can I approach the stone and look at the engraving?
Sure, go ahead and make a...
By the way, I had turned on my portable computer and started recording everything.
Okay.
Good plan.
So make a... you probably don't have any language skill.
Language. Nope.
Do you have any art skills?
No.
Can't draw with the shit.
No, I can't.
Yeah, just go ahead and make an investigate plus intellect check.
Okay.
Not really finding what I'm exactly looking for, but
2.
yeah, they look like a bunch of concentric circles, but
Maybe Stevie can help us.
when you go over and he's telling the story and you touch one of them, and everything goes black. You pass out.
Oh wow.
Jimmy smacked me in the face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So Jace and Happy, you see him go over and he's looking and he touches the wall and he runs his hands over it, and you see Darren suddenly go very pale and then just fall back and he's out like a light. And that's where we'll stop for this week, and we'll pick it up next week.
C'est la vie.
That's a good
It was
spot.
R.I.P.
Save versus death. Yeah, we'll pick this up next week at 7 o'clock. You guys can all take 1 XP point.
But I am not falling over.
Yes.
I think maybe I'll do recon.
Yep,
I
that would
think
be
I
a good
might-
one.
I could take one for the team and give some art skill for this next one.
Right? Yes.
All right.
I'm gonna do carouse because that comes in handy.
Okay.
Yes, it does, especially in the Trojan Reach, where you're gonna. I mean, everybody. It doesn't matter what Traveler game you're playing. At some point, you're going to end up in a bar. There's
Yeah.
always a bar, you know.
All right. Cool. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much.
All right,
Thank
I
you.
will see you guys next week. Have a good one.
Same with you.
Yep.